So based off of the utilization of smudging on Kyrie's part, I figured I'd do, some more coverage on Kyrie Irving. We understand that the utilization of smudging is based in witchcraft, and, you know, it's incumbent upon me to continue to cover these artists, these celebrities, so on and so forth in regards to their worship system. So let's go into Kyrie Irving's Instagram post where it says, Hermetic Friends, Inc., my light brothers and sisters. So we know what he's talking about when he talks about his light brothers. He's talking about his fellow comrades in Luciferianism and the quote-unquote craft, the Illuminati, quote-unquote. The age of no more secrets is upon us. Kyrie Irving has always been one to be more overt with his worship. He's always been someone who's more so, out there with it. You feel what I'm saying? For lack of a better term. World peace will be achieved in our lifetime, and we better effing believe it. Let them have the fabricated bullshit. So his understanding of world peace is based on adding that final capstone on the pyramid that was started during the Tower of Babel with Cush and Nimrod, the ancient Egyptians, the Canaanites, Cushites, so on and so forth. That genuine love and energy spreads all over the world. I see all, EYEC all, I am. They believe that they're their own gods. So, they go into, deep Luciferianism, deep Masonic principles. They understand that their belief system is based off of everything that's contrary to the Heavenly Father, or at least some of them do. So I just wanted to delve more into Kyrie Irving's worship system. So Roc Nation Sports signs Kyrie Irving, enters into partnership with Hermetic Friends. Irving to sign with Brooklyn Nets. So this was around the time, 2019, before he signed with the Brooklyn Nets. And you see here with the color scheme, black, white, and the red representing the black mass. About Hermetic Friends. Established in 2019, Hermetic Friends is a business entity co-founded by six-time NBA All-Star Kyrie Irving and his business partner Alex Jones. Hermetic Friends was built to manage current business partnerships and pursue future opportunities. And there's a reason why around the time where Kyrie Irving was a six-time All-Star, he decided to, go into this venture. It's important for us to understand. You see Kyrie Irving and Alex Jones here, sporting all black. Alex Jones more so with the charcoal, with the rainbow imagery for Pan, and the red in the background. Unless this image is Photoshop, it kind of look like it could be Photoshop, but either or, there's always, a message that they want to convey. So the definition of Hermetic, often capitalized of or relating to the mystical and alchemical writings or teachings arising in the first 3 centuries AD and attributed to Hermes Trismegistus. Hermes Trismegistus is just Thoth and Hermes. Hermes, the Greek god, and Thoth, the Egyptian god. Relating to or characterized by subjects that are mysterious and difficult to understand. Relating to or characterized by occultism or obtuseness. Good and evil. Hermes explains in Book 9 of the Corpus Hermeticum that nous or nous, reason and knowledge, brings forth either good or evil, depending upon whether one receives one's perceptions from God or from demons. God brings forth good, but demons brings forth evil. And that's a binary understanding. That's all based off of, what they believe. You feel what I'm saying? The true understanding of the Most High is that he's all, the good, the bad, the evil, everything. Pursuant to Isaiah 45:7. God brings forth good, but demons bring forth evil. Among the evils brought forth by demons are adultery, murder, violence to one's father, sacrilege, ungodliness, strangling, suicide from a cliff, and all such other demonic actions. This provides evidence that Hermeticism includes a sense of morality. However, the word good is used very strictly. It is restricted to references to God. It is only God in the sense of the nous, not in the sense of the all, or nous, not in the sense of the all, who is completely free of evil. Men are prevented from being good because man having a body is consumed by his physical nature. Having a body, being in his flesh, consumed by the physical nature, which is, lust, or, the things that, are tangible, and is ignorant of the supreme good, the righteousness. So this is a wristband, with the logo for Hermetic Friends. You see this peace sign here for Pan. That's what this is supposed to represent. The peace sign represents Pan, for Saturn and the sun, or the vagina and the penis, the male part and the female part, believe it or not. Now you see here this 6-point star, and this is associated with Hermetic friends. The 6-point star representing Saturn. That's what the 6-point star represents. Goes into the understanding of Saturn being its 6th planet from the sun, as well as understanding how it separates from the shield of David, because a lot of people get it mixed up. They think that this represents the shield of David. The shield of David represents the lily, and I'm gonna go more into that, but the shield of David represents the lily, or the pomegranate, which is basically the protection that the Most High provides in regards to following the law, statutes, and commandments. So you see the 6-pointed star on the hand of Kyrie Irving, the right hand, and you see his right hand over his chest near the heart. You know what I mean? For masonry, he's wearing all black for Saturn, and he has his right hand over his chest near his heart for masonry, to salute the goat. What does a 6-point star mean? The hexagram, like the pentagram, was and is used in practices of the occult and ceremonial magic, and is attributed to the 7 old planets outlined in astrology. The 6-pointed star is commonly used both as a talisman and for conjuring spirits and spiritual forces in diverse forms of occult magic. Now you see here, this is similar to the star, but this is not in reference to it. This, as far as the lily, is in reference to the shield of David. You see here, because the pomegranate has 613 seeds, and we know that there's 613 laws, statutes, and commandments. And that's why the pomegranate is often used, in which, we use the pomegranate to make the priestly garments. We use the pomegranate during the tabernacle, so on and so forth. Once again, you see the lily here. So Exodus 28, just going into it. And beneath upon the hem of it thou shalt make pomegranates of blue and of purple and of scarlet round about the hem thereof, and bells of gold between them round about, a golden bell and a pomegranate, a golden bell and a pomegranate upon the hem of the robe round about. And it shall be upon Aaron to minister. Yeah, Aaron was one of the Levites, and the Levites, they had a job that was separate from the other tribes in regards to the priesthood, the ministry. And where is I? And it shall be upon Aaron to minister, and his sound shall be heard when he goeth in unto the holy place before the Lord, and when he cometh out, that he die not. And thou shalt make a plate of pure gold, engrave upon it, like the engravings of a signet, holiness to the Lord, giving you the understanding of what the pomegranate represents, holiness. Also understanding why we use the pomegranate, why our people use the pomegranate. You know what I mean? So going into Numbers 13, Numbers chapter 13, verse 23, and so on. And they came unto the book of Eshcol, and cut down from thence a branch with one cluster of grapes, and they bare it between 2 upon a staff. And they brought of the pomegranates and of the figs. The place was called the brook of Eshcol, because of the clusters of grapes which the children of Yashar'Allah cut down from thence. And they returned from searching of the land after 40 days. And they went and came to Mashah, and to Aaron, and to all the congregation of children of Yashar'Allah, unto the wilderness of Paran, to Kadesh, and brought back word unto them, and unto all the congregation, and shewed them the fruit of the land, and showed them the fruit of the land. And they told him and said, We came unto the land whither thou sentest us, and surely it floweth with milk and honey, and this is the fruit of it. The land, talking about Canaan. So let's go Deuteronomy chapter 8. I just wanted to go more into the scriptures to bring out, the meaning of the pomegranate, as well as, why it was so prominent and significant to the Heavenly Father. For the Lord thy God bringeth thee into a good land, a land of brooks of water, of fountains and depths that spring out of valleys and hills, a land of wheat and barley and vines and fig trees and pomegranates, a land of oil, olive, and honey, a land wherein thou shalt eat bread without scarceness. Thou shalt have abundance of food. That's what that's going into.
Thou shalt not lack anything in it, a land whose stones are iron, and out of whose hills thou mayest dig brass. And just as an aside, when it goes into the building of Solomon's temple, when you read in 1st and 2nd Kings, I think it's 1st Kings, it goes into the understanding of the pomegranate brass and how it's featured during the time of Solomon's temple, of the building of Solomon's temple, the pomegranate brass. 2nd Ezra chapter 5 and verse 23 starting. And said, O Lord, that bearest rule of every wood of the earth, and of all the trees thereof, thou hast chosen thee only one vine, or one only vine. And of all lands of the whole world thou hast chosen thee one pit, and of all the flowers thereof one lily. And of all the depths of the sea thou hast filled thee one river. And of all the builded cities thou hast hollowed Sion unto thyself. So this is giving you to understand that the Most High, He's specific. He's specific. He's specific with the nation He chose. He's specific with what, laws to follow and so on and so forth, what He prohibits and what He stipulates. He's specific. And Lord, O Lord, that bearest rule of every wood of the earth and of all the trees thereof, thou hast chosen thee only one vine, one only vine. Lord, that bearest rule, the dictator of all. Deuteronomy 18. So I just wanted to go into Deuteronomy 18 because of the understanding of why we should not go into necromancy and astrology and, sage burning and so on and so forth. All these things go into what are contrary to the Heavenly Father and what the Egyptians practiced, because the Egyptians were doing things that the Most High told us not to do, which is why He separated us. So Deuteronomy 18, let's start at verse 10. There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth divination, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch. Going into the understanding when it talks about, the daughter or, son passing through the fire, it's talking about child sacrifice, or an observer of times, or an enchanter, or a witch, or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a wizard, or a necromancer. An observer of times, going into people who think they can see the future and shit like that, psychics, Miss Cleos, and all kinds of those people, those nonsensical people who take your money and tell you bullshit, because only the Most High knows. For all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord. And because of these abominations, the Lord thy power doth drive them out from before thee. Thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy God. Meaning, we should follow the Lord's statutes and commandments to the best of our ability. We all can't be perfect because understanding the scriptures in context, there's certain things that we cannot do in regards to, what the Most High stipulated or what He prohibited, because we live in captivity under the dictatorship of Esau and his kingdom. So it's different. We live in Babylon, but understanding that, follow the laws to the best of your ability. For these nations which thou shalt possess, hearken unto observers of times and unto diviners. But as for thee, the Lord thy God hath not suffered thee to do so. Give you to understand that He separated us. These people do this over here, but you should not be doing that. You should do this. So it's like, don't follow that. Follow me. That's what the Most High is saying. So going into Hermes Trismegistus. Hermes Trismegistus may be associated with the Greek god Hermes and the Egyptian god Thoth. Greeks in the Ptolemaic kingdom of Egypt recognized the equivalence of Hermes and Thoth through the Interpretatio Gracia. Consequently, the two gods were worshipped as one in what had been the temple of Thos and Kaminu, which was known in the Hellenistic period as Hermopolis. Hermes, the Greek god of interpretive communication, was combined with Thoth, the Egyptian god of wisdom. The Egyptian priest and polymath Imhotep had been deified long after his death and therefore assimilated to Thoth in the classical and Hellenistic periods. The renowned scribe Amenhotep and a wise man named Teos were co-equal deities of wisdom. So this is what this is going into. Science and medicine, and thus they were placed alongside Imhotep in shrines dedicated to Thoth, Hermes, during the Ptolemaic kingdom. So when you look at like these hoteps, they go hard with their worship of the Egyptian customs and, Egyptology as a whole. And they wear the Ankh because the Ankh represents life. They throw up the caduceus. It all goes back to Hermes. You know what I mean? With healing and so on and so forth. This is why you see all that. Imhotep, the one who comes in peace, late 27th century BC, was an Egyptian chancellor to the pharaoh Djoser, probable architect of Djoser's step pyramid, and high priest of the sun god Ra at Heliopolis. Very little is known of Imhotep as a historical figure, but in the 3,000 years following his death, he was gradually glorified and deified. One of the most famous contemporaries of King Djoser was his vizier, or visor, head of the royal shipyard and overseer of all stoneworks. Imhotep oversaw stone building projects such as the tombs of King Djoser and King Sekhmet. It is possible that Imhotep was mentioned in this also famous papyrus Westcar in a story called Khufu and the Magicians. But because the papyrus is badly damaged at the beginning, Imhotep's name is lost today. A papyrus from the ancient Egyptian temple of Teptunis, dating to the 2nd century AD, preserves a long story in the Demotic script about Djoser and Imhotep. In Djoser's time, Imhotep was of such importance and fame that he was honored by being mentioned on statues of King Djoser in his necropolis at Saqqara. And that's idolatry when it talks about, statues and so on and so forth. So this is just going back to Hermes and Thoth when it talks about Imhotep and Djoser. So this is Imhotep in the hieroglyphs. He who comes in peace. And you see, it kind of looks like the owl that you see Drake utilizing with the OVO logo. And we know Drake, that goes into Minerva when it comes to the OVO logo. Minerva, the goddess of war. Always depicted with the owl because the owl represents wisdom. Right? So I just wanted to give that to you, brothers and sisters, in regards to my coverage on Kyrie Irving. I'm going to be doing more videos like this. I appreciate you guys for continuing to support the channel. And I thank y'all for subscribing and just continue to just be you and following the Heavenly Father to the best of your ability so we can get up out of here. And I thank y'all for, just continue to be you, man. Thank y'all. God bless. Peace.